It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight. He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward.
Why do you think this keeps happening to you?
Well, you know, I've studied assassinations, and I must tell you, the most impactful people, the people that do the most, you take a look at the people, Abraham Lincoln, I mean, you go through the people that have gone through this where they got them. But the people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They don't go after the ones that don't do much because they like it that way. And when you look at the people that have either, whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt, they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names there, the big names. And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've taken this country, and we were a laughing stock for years, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've changed this country, and there are a lot of people that are not happy about that. So I think that's the answer, Peter.
Good morning, everybody. Here's another episode of the Common Sense with Van Show. Whew. Van News now. But I tell you, it doesn't get any better. You know, we live in a time where we have somebody sitting in the White House just doing all kind of destructive stuff. Got people out here believing half the things that's going on. And now you had the Correspondents Dinner, and allegedly this guy from California who's a school teacher is the shooter. You know, it's funny, when the first time with the air, they arrest somebody and the bullet didn't match the gun he had, so that case is gone. Then you allegedly had somebody at Mar-a-Lago when Trump was playing golf or wherever he was. The guy was 2 football fields away. They killed him. Now you're going to have at the hotel where this dinner's being held. You know what the problem is? It's all bullshit. Your Secret Service detail sucks. Because if that was in a hotel and y'all got the whole ballroom on a whole other side, how was this guy able to get close to the ballroom to shoot off these shots? You know, but you know, this administration allegedly said a police officer was shot. Who's the name of the police officer? What's his name? The man that killed on 2 football fields away on some golf course. What was his name? Now, you know, this was a crime scene after the shooting. And people walking around. But you know what? I guess all these people in that ballroom know what it felt like with the senators on January 6th. But to me, it looked like ready, set, go. When and how. It's funny. Shots are being shot and people just ignored it. They sitting on stage. And it's funny when your reactions is the same as when you allegedly got nipped by a bullet in your ear. And then you're going to come 30 minutes later talking about that's why you need a ballroom at the White House. No, that's not why. You need better security. You look at the same cars, Keystone cops. They look all staged. It looks corny. If you have good security, there's no way in the world that guy should even been in the hotel with the gun. Because you know why? Because it was bullshit. Mainstream media's not going to say nothing because it's bullshit. But everybody know it looked like it was staged. How you going to go on? They're going to pull Vance from the chair. like he a little kid. Trump, they gonna go grab him. He falls. Where was Marco Rubio? And then now you're gonna have Patel standing up there with his lying ass. We in a war with Iran that we losing. There's all lies coming out. Listen, I'm a citizen. Freedom of speech. I don't believe nothing that comes out this administration mouth. Caroline said before this even happened, shots will be fired. Guess she said it the wrong time, huh? Ballroom. Trump ain't trying to lead the White House, and y'all sitting up here and don't even understand it. They're just doing things. They're not doing nothing to help this country. They're helping their pockets. The Dow was back up at 49,200. Let's see what's going to happen tomorrow when the stock market opens. But as I'm talking, you're looking at these people running. They're in fear. For those who ain't down, for those who didn't understand what was going on. But meanwhile, those of intelligence know this was straight stage. It's scripted. It's not an assassination attempt. Nobody shot at Wolf Blitzer. And if he got into the ballroom where they was at with the gun, how? Whose fault is that? That is the fault of the Secret Service and the police department. There should be 4 checkpoints before you can get anywhere close to that ballroom. Here you're going to have Erica Kirk walking down the hallway crying. You're like, bitch, sit your ass down. Okay? You're all going to go to jail eventually. For the bullshit that y'all doing, y'all going to go to jail. You know you're going to go to jail. Some of y'all going to commit suicide because you don't want to go to jail. There's only one clown that got immunity, and that's the armless buffoon, but he promised all y'all a pardon. He promised y'all could do all the crimes you want, I'll pardon you. We in Iran. Every week, the war's going to end. First of all, it wasn't even a war, but now it's a war. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it. Ready, set, go. Meet us at the studio, the stage studio, and let's get this going. The ballroom that you want for the White House ain't got nothing to do with the ballroom that you was in last night, because it's your security. Your Secret Service is not doing their job. Ain't no other president had an assassination attempt until you got in office. Okay? And the funny part about it is, we don't know who's doing the shit. What y'all did? Shoot a police officer that got shot? Y'all shot your own police officer? Come on, man. We want to know his name. We want to see the medical records. We want to see he got shot. We don't believe. Nobody in America believes any of this shit. You got a few. But I can guarantee you 80% of the people, when this shit happened last night, and I'm going to say the curse word because it's needed. When most of us seen this shit last night, we said, oh, this is some scripted shit. This is bullshit. This shit ain't real. That's how American people feel right now. It wasn't real. It's bullshit. Okay? Because your thin ass couldn't take the criticism of the comedians making fun of you. Caroline Levitt said shots will be fired. So, on that note, this is Van Silk coming to you from Common Sense of Van Silk, coming to you from Van News Now. I gotta go. Peace.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Oh, hey, so somebody tried to kill the president again at the White House Correspondents Dinner. Here's some of the scene. Now, as someone who has been to many events in D.C., including seeing Trump speak at the D.C. Marriott, This was during his first term at a realtor conference. When he came to speak, the hotel was completely locked down. There were multiple concentric circles of security. It wasn't just one security line and, hey, there's the president. You were stopped at the door of the hotel, at the entrance of the conference center, and at the doors of the ballroom. This guy apparently sprinted through one Secret Service line, shooting one of the officers in his bulletproof vest and then making it all the way into the ballroom where the president is. And this conveniently follows Trump's ballroom getting shut down and the fact that he may have to reveal subcontractors for the top portion. $400 million that he probably dished out to his buddies. He also happens to be currently trying to end the Homeland Security shutdown. And the second the assassination attempt is over, Trump is talking about both of these things.
It's not a particularly secure building, and I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it. They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before.
Oh, and he also just learned that he has the lowest approval rating in history. I am not going to say that this was staged. I'm not.
So after the shooting at the White House Correspondents Dinner, Donald Trump came back to the White House and had a press conference where he gave a statement, took some questions, went off script, and had some weird rambling moments. But for the most part, it was just insane. Like, he was normal for maybe 5 minutes when he was reading a prepared statement saying, hey, thank you to Secret Service, thank you to the police who were on the scene. But then after that, then he started talking by himself. That's when things got really bad. And he revealed some information in this press conference that I think is relevant, I think you should know. And I also want to show you things he posted on social media along with the latest updates on the shooting. So there's a lot to get through in this video. I don't want to waste any time. Let's just dive right in. Please make sure to subscribe down below, drop a like as well, comment. Let me know what you think about this whole thing. I know a lot of people out there have some thoughts, but we'll start with Trump's social media page because he posted photos of the alleged suspect. He did this right before the press conference. This is the first one, which is not much of a photo at all. It's just like the guy face down. Here's another one with his hands behind his back, once again, face down on the floor. He also posted video footage of the event where the shooter was tackled by police. This is inside the hotel they were hosting the event at. He announced that they're rescheduling the White House Correspondents Dinner. He said they're going to do it within 30 days. Whether that happens or not, that of course remains to be seen. Anytime Donald Trump makes a promise, we know by now, we've been a decade into Donald Trump's involvement in politics, you never take him seriously. And he also described, this was the first statement he put out after the shooting, which I thought was kind of weird. He said, it was quite an evening, which I feel like when you're talking about a shooting, you just don't describe it that way, but, you know, Trump, the narcissist that he is, maybe thinks that's appropriate. So those are the things he posted on social media. Then we also got some information about the suspect. The White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting suspect is believed to have been booked in a room in the Hilton in early April. Law enforcement tells me he is declining to answer questions, but allegedly made some reference to targeting administration officials, but was not specific, the official said. And so far, not cooperative, not responsive to questions. I don't imagine that that's going to change anytime soon. A lawyer is probably going to tell him to shut up and be quiet. Not that it would be much use at all, but nonetheless, he's probably not going to answer much questions about a motive. So that kind of remains to be seen. And through all of this, this is how some MAGA influencers were reacting online. So we're learning more about the shooting. Trump is posting photos of the suspect, and we have MAGA influencers taking selfies, taking selfies at the event and like posing for the photos after a shooter was taken out by Secret Service. It just strikes me as a little tone deaf. You know, I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it. But before we get into the press conference from Donald Trump, let's hear some actual updates from a reliable source that people can trust. This is the chief of police with Metro PD talking about what the suspect had on them at the hotel during the event. Watch.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Again, I'm Jeff Carroll, Interim Chief of Police for the Metropolitan Police Department. This afternoon, this evening, members of the United States Secret Service and the Metropolitan Police Department were here at the Washington Hotel for a site detail for the Correspondents' Dinner. As the mayor mentioned, at approximately 8:36 tonight, an individual charged a U.S. Secret Service checkpoint here in the lobby area of the hotel. He was armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. As he ran through that checkpoint, members of law enforcement from the United States Secret Service intercepted that individual. This is a very preliminary investigation at this point. We do know that law enforcement exchanged gunfire with the individual. We do know that a U.S. Secret Service uniformed division officer was struck in his vest. He was transported to a local hospital for treatment. He seems to be in good spirits at this time. The suspect in this case, he was not struck by gunfire. However, he was transported to a local hospital to be evaluated.
Okay, well, a lot of useful information there, that he was carrying a shotgun, handgun, multiple knives, that a Secret Service officer was struck but was apparently wearing a bulletproof vest, according to some reports, so he's going to be okay, which is fantastic news during all of this. I will say it is still weird to see Jeanine Pirro standing right there, but thankfully, you know, she's not the one in charge of giving us the information about what's taking place here. Now we get into the press conference that Donald Trump had, and I had to include this clip. I streamed my reaction to it live while the press conference was going on, and this is something that genuinely made me feel sick in my stomach. It like sent shivers up my spine. It's so cringeworthy and just disgusting. But Kash Patel, FBI director, a lot of stories going around about him right now with his alleged drinking on the job and many more things going on with him. But he got up to the podium after the Attorney General, Todd Blanche, the temporary one at least, spoke. And Kash Patel, one of the first things he did was just suck up to Donald Trump. And you'll see what I mean in this clip, but it is truly appalling. It's like a North Korean level of sucking up to the dear leader. Watch.
General, thank you, Mr. President. The president's absolutely right. You saw the best resolve of American law enforcement because you, Mr. President, inspire them 24/7, 365. You give them the resources that they need, and they know that you have their back. And that is a changing dynamic in this country, and that's why you saw brave Secret Service agents respond immediately, swiftly, subdue and take down the suspect, and safeguard the lives of thousands of individuals at that hotel.
We have an FBI director right now who, when tragedy strikes, when there's a shooting like this, his immediate reaction is to thank the President of the United States. The FBI director is meant to be nonpartisan, right? Just somebody that does the job, knows how to do the job, has been in the FBI for a while. We have a podcaster as a director of the FBI. And I think the reason he got up there and complimented Trump is that not only is that like basically a requirement of the Trump administration anytime you're giving a public statement, but his job